Three biggest reasons why people do not achieve financial freedom. The most important reasons why people are not financially free. Related to delayed gratification is the number one reason why a lot of people cannot reach financial success. Everything that comes out today, they need to buy. You don't, like I said last time, you don't have to buy everything. You don't have to buy everything. Because something is you can afford it doesn't mean you have to buy it. The reason why people don't achieve financial success, apart from delayed gratification, is the fact that they have what you call lifestyle creep. Once you start making some money, let's say you were making 50K before a month, so then you start making 100K or 200K. You now want to change your car, you want to now upgrade, you go to a more expensive apartment. So this lifestyle creep ensures that you don't save anything. So what you need to do here is that once you have an increase, once you have an increase in your salary, once you have a windfall that comes, you have to learn how to not upgrade your life too fast. You have to stay at that level and invest the difference between your income and your expenses. It's very important to invest. Lifestyle creep is a terrible thing that happens to people because you see them increase. Some of them earn up to $150,000 a year. You see many of them earning like 150K a month, 500K, 1 million a month, but they live from hand to mouth. A lot of people live from hand to mouth, like they can't be able to save anything. It's because as the income increases, they keep spending. So once you have an increase, you don't upgrade very fast. You have to keep your lifestyle at that close to that same level. It take a while before you increase your spending. You understand? You have to take that excess and invest it. So that's why some people can't save anything from their salary or their income. Some people can't even save, like even if it's 5 or 10%. So that's number two. That's lifestyle creep. Then the third reason why many people can't get financial freedom is because you are too emotional. You are too soft. Any small story, I beg, or somebody swallow shovel. Oh, the toilet is here, you need some help. Any small story, you are so triggered, you are so emotionally available to help. I'm not saying don't help people, but you must help on a budget. You can help people, but help on you must have a budget dedicated to helping people for black tax or whatever it is. So most of our spending decisions come from our emotions. So if you are not an emotionally disciplined person, if you are not strong, if you are too soft, if you are too nice, any touching story, you send money to take care of that touching story. But the funny thing is that if you are not careful, you might be the next touching story. So you have to be strong. You have to be emotionally disciplined. You have to be strong in your mind. You must be able to say no to a lot of things. You must be able to be careful. You don't give out everything you have, because you need that money to invest and build wealth for yourself. So those are the three main issues why lots of people cannot reach financial freedom. They cannot delay gratification. The lifestyle always creeps up on them, and they are emotionally weak. They don't have a strong mind. They cannot say no. Any little thing that anybody asks them for, they always oblige. You understand? Sometimes you have to learn how to say no. No has to be your favorite word, especially when you are building at the beginning. When you've reached a certain level, then you can help. But when you are trying to get there and then people are dragging you, all of you are going to crash, and everybody will now need help, including yourself that's trying to get out from that situation. So you have to build yourself to a certain extent before you help. So let me give some examples. When it comes to delay, let me talk about delayed gratification. When it comes to delayed gratification, let's say you have two guys. You have Emeka and Tunde. Let's just say Emeka and Tunde. Let's say Emeka, they started working at 25 years. So someone like Emeka started making money, and as he was making money, he started buying. Once he made a certain amount, he used the amount and he used it to buy a car. You understand? While someone like Tunde refused to buy a car, as he was making money, any money he had to buy land. He wasn't buying landed property. He kept using buses and public transportation. It's very difficult, Sha. It's delayed gratification, like I mentioned in my last video, is one of the most difficult things. Knowing that you can afford a car, you refuse to buy a car. Although some people say in Nigeria of today, you have to buy a car because cars are going up in price. But I still believe that delayed gratification is very important. So he kept buying land, until the value of his land after 5 years rose to an extent that he was able to buy a car for himself. But he didn't use everything to buy a car. Meanwhile, that's Tunde. While Emeka continued buying, upgrading, sell his car, buy 2015 model, sell 2015 model after a few years, buy 2020 model. He couldn't even sell, he couldn't even save anything, couldn't even invest anything. You understand? Well, this other guy, at the end of the day, when they got to retirement at 65 years, Emeka was like broke, was left with little or nothing, just his pension that was not enough. While Tunde had a portfolio of properties, by then he had bought land, sold some of the sold some of his plots of land to build, apartment buildings, and he got tenants. So you can see that in that situation, at the end of the day, because one delayed gratification, which was Tunde, and saved his money to buy property and land, even from a young age, waited for it to appreciate before he could now buy his liabilities, buy what he wanted to enjoy. While somebody could not, another person, Emeka, could not wait. He kept anything he saw, he kept buying, everything he kept upgrading. Everything he wanted to do, he did immediately. There was no delay. There was no sacrifice. He couldn't even say no to himself. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, you have to know that in this life, it's either one or two things. It's either you enjoy now, you play now, you enjoy very well now today, and you suffer later. That's you play now and pay later. Or you pay now. That's you make the sacrifice today and enjoy later. You have to choose one. So for most people that are starting from zero, this is the situation for them. Another example of delayed gratification. There was a guy, let's call him Bello, and Chidi. Bello would love going to the club, pop bottles. He's always enjoying himself. All he was doing was that every resource he had to eat it. While someone like Chidi, what he did was that he saved from 25 years. He was saving every amount he had, even if it was 5,000 naira. Invested in the Nigerian stock market and also invested in the S&P 500. While Bello did not do that. These are just examples. So Bello kept having fun, popping bottles. When he sees the latest car, he buys. Once he got his first 200M, he used it to build a house. And he stayed there, kept buying liabilities, bigger cars, bigger houses that he could live in. But he didn't have any assets. He didn't have anything generating money, have any investments, did not have any property, did not have any stock, any shares, don't have anything like that. So the other guy was investing in S&P, just in the Nigerian stock market, and he also invested in some crypto, invested in BTC. So as he kept doing that, he kept investing, and when he had a net worth of, let me give you an example, let's say he got a net worth of 50, and that's when he now bought a car of 10. You understand? You don't use everything you have to buy liabilities. Then when he now got a net worth of 100, and that's when he used 50M to build his own house, because he was living in Lagos, a place that rent is expensive, but he didn't use everything he had. You understand? He must always have something remaining. After 65 years, when it was time for retirement, the first guy, Chidi, was financially free, while the other guy, Bello, that lived for the now, that was keeping up with the Joneses, that, always had to spend everything he had, that guy was also in some financial trouble. While Chidi, the guy that invested wisely, was financially free, because his assets was paying for his lifestyle. So they both started at 25. One bought assets, one bought BTC, one bought shares, one bought the S&P 500, one bought Nigerian stock, and he was very careful not to spend everything he had, bought more assets than liability. While the other guy was always living for the now, and he had issues. He was broke at retirement and just depended on a pension, which was not enough. So let us be careful what we do at our young age, because when we get older, it shows in our finances. My name is Dr. Charles, and if you like my videos, follow me.